He's an editor and he'll be talking about direct imaging of gonio by smartphone and DIGS. It's the world's first smartphone-based gonio imaging device. His current area of interest is smartphone imaging and medical retina, with over 30 peer-reviewed publications in this field. So, Nilesh.
Thank you, Bhupesh sir, for that introduction. First, I would like to thank DOS, Namrata ma'am, Bhalla sir, Mahajan sir, and especially Rahil sir and Neha ma'am for giving me this opportunity. I'll be talking about viewing angle the smart way, and I do have a financial. Are my slides visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I do have a financial disclosure to make. We are making the device and selling it. So I'll be talking first about gonioscopy. For last 105 years since we know the modern gonioscopy, it has been fairly stagnant. The glaucoma has progressed. The visual field analysis, the retinal nerve fiber layer analysis, that has progressed. But the gonioscopy itself has been stagnant art. And you can see with the topic that a talk that Dr. Wallace Allward gave at AEH Pondicherry few days back, the gonioscopy is still in state of art after 100 years. It should be routine by now. It is more than over a century and still it is state of art. So what are the major roadblocks that are preventing gonioscopy from becoming a routine investigation? First is the enigma of glaucoma. We very often see that everybody treats glaucoma, nobody knows glaucoma, how it is. Or gonioscopy is the most difficult art you have to achieve in OPD procedures. But that is not, once you start doing it, it's very easy and it's very logical. The only thing is that you have to start doing it. But for doing that, it is slit lamp dependent. You need to have a slit lamp. And for most of the training centers, at least in the periphery, the slit lamp is not that readily available, and it's not everybody does not get a chance. And then there are lack of trainers also. I think we need to move from now direct the consultant teaching the resident. We need to move on to the old Halsted dogma, that is see one, do one, and then teach one. So that if a resident knows gonioscopy, other resident or other fellows can. I'm telling my perspective from resident. It will be different once we become consultants. But as a resident, we can have that see one and then teach one. And then there is time factor. The gonioscopy itself takes time. So if a resident does, then the patient might refuse for the consultant. Or if the consultant does first, then the patient might not allow the resident to again do the same procedure. And knowing that training, it really becomes rare. So as it can be seen that only 81% of junior residents know how to do gonioscopy. Out of those ophthalmologists, the consultants who are doing 25%, they are not confident in their skill. And again, from Dr. Wallace Allward's book, it has been said that 50% of the patients that are visiting glaucoma clinic in USA, they're not getting a gonioscopic evaluation due to paucity of time. So the surrogates which are used is Van Herrick technique, and I think Van Herrick technique is fairly deceitful. We can't rely on that to make a glaucoma diagnosis. Antersegmentosity and UBM. If slit lamp is gold, then this might be uranium. It's that rare to find in training centers. And then NIDA came up with a gonio imaging device that cost 20 lakhs rupees just to take that gonio image. And a cheaper alternative is 5 lakh is GonioPen. That is fairly portable, but it still requires a laptop or a computer to be carried along with it. So that is all in OPD setup. When we go to a camp where we don't even have a vision chart, how are we going to do gonioscopy? And it's very common. Glaucoma prevalence rate in India is 10% with equal amount of open angle and close angle glaucoma. So in a camp, we are going at least 5 or 10 patients of close angle we are going to get, shallow angle at least. So how are we going to see that? The solution has to be practical. It has to be convenient to perform. It should be time efficient, and it should give reproducible result from me and for anybody who is doing that. So smartphone, that is the solution. Everybody is carrying a smartphone, so you don't need anything else. You just need your gonio lens to be carried in your pocket and a smartphone which you anyway carry. That is it. You don't require anything else. That I called as direct imaging of gonio mirror by smartphone, or DIGS, DIGS. So this is a procedure. If there is no lag, I think the video will be very clear. It's very simple. You put the slit lamp on side. You don't need your slit lamp. Just put a drop of topical anesthesia on the patient. Your gonio lens goes inside. Make sure that your phone has the stock camera app. No other app is required as of now. Just center it. Flash should be on. You click, and you have the image. It's that simple. It can be done by anybody. we are trying, once the technology or the device gets perfect, even the optometrist in your center, they can perform it and put it on the EMR, and then you can just review it and see that which patient needs a proper gonioscopy or any other intervention. So it works with 2-mirror, it works with 3-mirror, it works with 4-mirror. These are 3-mirror images. Fairly easily you can see the gonio anatomy, but 3-mirror has an inherent magnification. So it gives a somewhat clear image, but the beauty of 4-mirror is with a single click, you are getting 360-degree of image. It works with Xiaomi and Nokia. These are the lower end of Xiaomi and Nokia, which I have clicked with. The quality depends on the smartphone which you are using and the quality of the camera it has. So you can see OnePlus and iPhone on your right-hand side. It's fairly clear. It can be done in supine position, in sitting position. It can be done in outreach camp, OPD, anywhere. So despite being the most read, one of the most read articles on Journal of Glaucoma, the problem was nobody tried it. Once I put it out, not many people were trying it and getting back to me that what is, and I was not able to know why this is happening, despite being everybody at that time when I explained it, told it is very interesting, but nobody tried it. So I went to my mentor, Dr. Ashish Sharma, who has innovated MI RetCam. So he told me it is still a jugaad. It's not a innovation right now. A product which is very easy to use for everybody and which gives more with a lesser amount of resource. A product like that will make it a true innovation. So we present to you after 9 months of R&D, world's first smart-based gonio imaging device. I can't demonstrate right now the device because of the patent issue, but you can see this is the optic housing where the optic is housed. On this side where you can see the logo, the smartphone attaches to this side, and the opposite side, your gonio lens, your 3-mirror or 4-mirror, it attaches, and you can just simply, as you click on the normal without any device, you click it like that. It just gives you an inbuilt, it has an inbuilt optic, so it gives you a more optical magnification than a digital magnification. So
I think we've lost the audio from the other.
Dr. Nilesh.
Audio is not there.
So Devang, can you, meanwhile, when we get him back, can you comment on this device?
Yes, ma'am. It looks good because as he told that the gonioscopy, in fact, when we teach our residents, we normally have a teaching mirror or a teaching arm in our center, but as he has rightly pointed out that many centers, they don't even have a slit lamp, or even if they have a slit lamp, they don't have a side mirror to teach. So this app, if it is connected to smartphone, I think it is a very good teaching tool, and the images that he's showing are very good. I mean, it looks very good. So it looks very promising, and if it is equally cheaper, I think it's much better, than the other alternatives like the Gonio pen or the ASOCT, which are very bulky instruments and very expensive and out of reach from many people.
Dr. Bhalla, will you want to say anything on this?
It appears to be a very promising thing because I think you can zoom it and see the magnified view of the angle also. And particularly in outreach centers and other places where slit lamp may not be available. And also as a teaching tool, it appears to be very promising. Only thing is, there must be some learning curve. You have to be very still holding it. I'll just like to see demonstrates in further slides.
I think because from the practitioner point of view, and the person who are going to start the practice, smartphones are with everybody, and these instruments seems to be very good. At least a person can, who is not doing the gonioscopy routinely, they can just click the image or just click for you, and then you can assess whether it is done or not. Not a saving of time.
Yes. So what I think is the main advantage of this tool is that you can click the picture and you can remove the error that is between the two observers, because you cannot document gonioscope. What is the finding between the two observers? We have to rely on others' finding. But if you get the picture, you can take others' opinion also, and you can make a decision together. So that is the other good part of this app.
Sorry, sir. I think my Wi-Fi broke. I'll just.
Doesn't matter. You're back. We discussed things in absentia. So you can resume from wherever you were.
Thank you,
Perfect.
ma'am. Thank you. I'll just restart. So it is a great patient education tool as well. I think when the patient walks in, the primary angle closure suspects they're asymptomatic. They don't want anything. They just came for refraction, and suddenly you see that their angle is closed. You start convincing them, and they are not convinced at all because they are asymptomatic and they need YAG PI. So once you tell them, it is very difficult. But once you show them, it's very easy. This patient I saw in a camp, not even in OPD, in a camp. I showed him that, see, your angle is completely closed. Only a quarter of your angle, trabecular meshwork, is seen faintly over here. Next day, he was in the OPD in the morning at 8 o'clock with pilocarpine he has already put from home. So that's the beauty of once you start the image-based counseling. So you can see only half of the patient agree when you do a verbal counseling for YAG PI. But with this device, if you are going to use, it's around 86 to 90% of the patients who are agreeing for YAG PI. That's one eye saved at a time from glaucoma. And it's very easy to use. It takes only 4 or 5 patients for you to start using because it's nothing. You just have to click. Everybody clicks the photograph from smartphone. So there's nothing major to be learned over here. The only thing is to start analyzing the finding. So these are the few other gonioscopic anomalies which we saw. You can see a fairly wide angle recession over here. We can see a small iridodialysis cleft that can be seen on the right side image. Then a glimpse of disc when the patient is dilated, but I won't comment on bony anatomy in this patient. But on the right hand side, you can see how beautiful a hill of peripheral anterior synechiae is seen on the backdrop of a widely open angle with highly pigmented trabecular meshwork. And a sample SC line can be seen over here. This is the plateau iris configuration. Then this is an inverse hypopyon beautifully reflected on the inferior mirror. A silicon bubble again on in the backdrop of a highly pigmented trabecular meshwork. This patient had undergone multiple VS surgery with highly pigmented trabecular meshwork with high IOP, and then we are having a adherent leukoma with which can be reflected on the left hand side mirror. And the major criticism that came my way, this was first suggested by Dr. Prabhu Bhaskaran, who innovated XNIT. He told me that this is giving a very bright flashlight. So the open angle, the closed angle might open up because of that. So how are you going to overcome that? So it took around 2 months for me to think about it. And then I thought that every mobile is having a slow motion video. So we take a slow motion video, we put the flash off and on, so we can get a more physiological response than the indentation. As we know, in the indentation, we can just open, we can press and we can open. If you put more pressure, the anatomy distorts. And this is more physiological. You see how beautifully the pupil is constricting. On the superior side, you see how beautifully the posterior trabecular meshwork is coming into the view. It's very nice. It's completely physiological. What the patient will feel in the midlight and the start and the end, everything you can see. That is the beauty of dynamic gonio imaging. Hopefully, the paper will come in few weeks time. So to conclude, it's a fast and efficient, low-cost innovation. It provides you for documentation, for follow-up. It has inbuilt teleconsultation capabilities. Anyone sitting in the camp or periphery can send it to the consultants and ask the patient needs to come to the OPD or not. It's a great patient education tool and resident training tool. And this might be the future, because in the COVID era, we don't know. Somebody might take a gonio selfie and send. So that can be another avenue to in the future. So you can't imagine something that doesn't exist in the universe. That is the philosophy that I believe in. If I am imagining something, it has to be in the universe and it will come into our time very soon. So till then, keep imagining, keep innovating, keep digging. Thank you for the opportunity. Again, these are for any commercial inquiry, this is the contact address, and any academic questions I will be happy to take. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.